both of you have that thing, you know, you're bringing up kids, and, you know, in lots of ways, they're incredibly fortunate and fabulous lives, but you both come from regular backgrounds, so it must be kind of weird trying to get your kid not to be in that bubble, to, like, be a bit regular.
No, it's constantly... We talk about it all the time.
You stray them in supermarkets, things like that.
I mean, my dad... Take him to the pub, leave him at the pub.
Make your own way home!
No, but it is a constant sort of worry, but most of the time my kids don't want to be recognised that way. They want normalcy. Well, except when I saw Oscar, he came up, he was talking with some girls, and he came up and he goes, "Dad, I've told him your Wolverine signed autographs from him." Apart from that moment, most of the time...
But it is, you know, it's a constant thing that, you know, me and Victoria are on top of, obviously,
Speak quicker, speak quicker.
I'm trying to think how to rephrase that. Me and Victoria are very aware of, you know, of obviously bringing our children up in the right way and looking after them, make sure they have the most normal upbringing as possible. And we've done that for many, many years. You know, our eldest, well, Brooklyn has had a job for the last 2 years in a small French cafe, which she enjoys.
Yeah, well, we read about... I think probably everyone was saying, when you read about that, you thought, good on Dave and Victoria, that's great, he's got a job. But presumably Brooklyn was thinking, I know how much you're worth, why am I fucking work for strangers?
Yeah. I just think it was something... Because he kept on coming to us and saying, you know, I've seen these new trainers, can I go and buy them? And I'm like, no, it's not how it works. And he said, really? No, he didn't say that. But he came to us and, you know, he was asking for things and pocket money and things like that. And we said, OK, well, you know, we lived close to the coffee shop, so we said, you know, I love it in there every Sunday, so I go there most Sundays, and I said, you know, I spoke to the owner, I said, you know, can my eldest come and work there? And he said, yeah, great. So he does 3 or 4 hours on a Saturday and the same on a Sunday. And, you know, he gets pocket money, so I think,
good for you.
You know, it's this...
Horrible for him, but good for you.
He enjoys it.
It's an exciting time to be Ewan McGregor. Nearly 30 years since Trainspotting, but you've just received an honour in the East End of Glasgow. I don't know if you've seen your mural. Here it is.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
What?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen it. I thought I had seen it, but now I realise I hadn't, because it says that. It's shite being Scottish.
That is an image that's really ripe for corruption.
Yeah, someone needs a stepladder and some paint.
Yes, You've got tough times ahead, my friend.
It won't take long. It won't be long.
Oh, at least it looks like you're really enjoying it.
Begging for it.
Really ready for it.
Oh, mercy.
I've showed that sequence to my kids, you know.
Oh,
This is the toilet sequence in Trainspotting.
Yeah, some of my kids are older now, so they've seen Trainspotting, but my younger ones hadn't. And showing that, I said, you've got to just watch this. So I just showed them the toilet. I think it was Anouk was about 10. I said, look, watch this. And I showed her the scene where I'm at the worst, right when it starts, the worst toilet in Scotland, you know.
Yeah.
And I thought it would be quite funny. And as I'm showing it to her, I'm realising, like, what am I doing? Like, I'm shitting my brains out, and my daughter's going, who is my father? What the fuck is this? But anyway, then it goes all serene when I do the swimming. And then I had to explain why I was down there to get there. Oh, it was a nightmare. Anyway, scarring your children. Here we are.
Once a year, Seth Meyers, you break your booking policy.
Oh, yes, I have my... once a year on Thanksgiving, it's very hard to book, obviously, on Thanksgiving. And so when I started my show, I started with my parents and my brother are on every year. And it's very lovely. But then this year, we went a little bit further, and I had my children on the show, who are young. They're 9, 7, and 4.
Wow.
And I did not tell them they were going to be on the show. I gave them no warning because I thought they would get stressed. They were actually in the building to take their Christmas card photo. And I just sort of low-key said, let's just have 3 microphones ready. And we pre-taped it a week early. But after our first guest that night was Cynthia Erivo, and the kids had finished their photo, and I go, just come out, Daddy's going to ask you some questions. And it was 6 minutes. It's the most white-knuckle interview I've ever done.
We've got a little clip. Here's Seth and the Meyer children.
Yeah. Well, how did you guys, did you get here by, in a car or a subway, Axel?
Car.
Gotcha. What about...
Subway.
You took the subway?
Daddy, we came at different times.
You came at different times? Addie, did you like the subway?
Yeah, the subway smelled like diarrhea.
So cute.
Yeah.
You see, children bring the joy. Children bring the joy.
My oldest was the one who was the most, I think, had the most anxiety about doing it. And as we walked off, he just like took my arm. He goes, "That was great. We should do it again soon." Thank you very much. And they just like got the bug.
Is that the son who thinks he's going to inherit the show?
Yeah, my son said to me once, he goes, "Dad, I have a question." I said, "What's your question?" He said, "When you die, do I get your show?" And I'm like, based on the diarrhea answer, your sister gets the show.
And so it's a children's book, but it was inspired by your own children.
Yes, my own children. So my oldest daughter didn't like sleeping at all. And so she didn't sleep through the night until she was 5. And as part of that, we went through, like, various different
Can I
strategies.
just say, anyone pregnant now is
Yeah,
going,
don't
what?
worry. It's not, you know, it happens, but not always. But anyway, she was, you know, it happened with her. And so we got to a point where I would say to her, OK, at bedtime, I will draw you a picture at night. And so when you wake up, you'll see the picture and you'll know that I've been thinking about you. And so every single night she'd ask for a drawing, and it would be like of a bird or of a cat. And then eventually she'd be like, OK, can I be in it? Can my sister be in it? And then one day she said, "Can you draw a bird and can it take the baby away?" I was like, wow, OK, yes, I can. So I drew this picture. And at the end of this 5 months, we had, like, I mean, so many images. And I said to her, OK, I'll put them into a book for you. And she said, "No, they're boring. They're just in black and white, you know, as children do." So, oh, brilliant, OK. So I spent, like, another couple of months trying to colour them in. And then I put them up on the wall, and I just kind of kept playing with them. And this story kind of came out of it. Of this girl whose baby sister gets taken away by a pigeon, and she has to go on a magical adventure to find her again.
Of course she does.
Yes, because I had to get the baby back.
And Mark Ruffalo, in your house, your kids are growing up with the Incredible Hulk as a dad.
Right.
Is that a terrible thing or an amazing thing?
Well, it was amazing in the beginning because I could get him to do stuff. I'd be like, "Go brush your teeth. Your dad's the Hulk." And now I try it, and it doesn't work so well.
But you have left them scarred for life.
Yeah, it doesn't play anymore. They're like, "Yo, big whoop."
Well, because at some point you would have had to have got angry. You'd have had to turn into the
Oh,
Hulk.
I've done that. That doesn't work after a while either. They're like, "Right. Get green and big, and then we'll talk." We're really sassy. But I love them.
Nadia, perhaps you feel like you've met because were you doing prep for tonight? Is that why? 'Cause I know Titanic was on telly this week. Is that?
No. So my daughter, my boys don't care. They're like, "I don't want to watch Titanic." Sorry. No, they're like, right.
Good. I don't want to watch Titanic.
Avatar, however, they will be all over it. But my daughter really wanted to watch Titanic. And I thought, you know what, there's a bit of... Maybe give her a bit 12. So she turned 12. I said, OK, you can watch Titanic. And then when she always asks, "Who are you going to meet?" I said, "This is who I'm going to meet." And she said, "Like the lady of Titanic?" And I said, "Yeah." She goes, "But you've seen her boobies."
No, my daughter actually had that at school. Someone...
That's worse.
It was quite weird. She said that someone came up to her having figured out after 4 years of being at school together that I was her mum. And she went, "Oh, my God, I've seen your mum's boobs."
Yes. So my daughter did say, she said, "Where are you going to look?" And I said, "Well, at her face." Of course. Of course.
Eyes up here.
Eyes up here.
Eyes up here, kid.
Yeah. I suppose it's because with your kids, you could spoil them, but you have to try and be strict with them.
Yeah, it's tough, like, because, you know, as you're doing all right, you want to give them the life that you didn't have, you know, so, you know, but you have to be strict because you don't want to turn them into children that you hated when you were a child.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't want them to be those kids. So it's tough, you know. I remember taking my daughter to get new school shoes, so I took all I don't know if you've done this, Gabby, you've taken all of them out just by yourself, like an idiot. And took them all out. We've gone to buy new school shoes, and it's dead busy day in the department store, and that most of them are being fine, and then just one daughter is just kicking off, just going for it, right? And you've not got the skills that your parents had, because, you know, laws have changed. You've got to, like, find other ways. You've got to, like, talk to them like a children's TV presenter. And you go, what seems to be the problem? And you're like, now you get a bit closer, like, when you get home, you are dead. Like, you have to do it like nobody sees you. And, so she's being a nightmare. And I just couldn't wrangle her. I just couldn't work it out. And what happens is, the other thing with when you've got many children is that your other children start being good, really good, but not good because they want to be good. They want to be good to highlight how bad the bad one's being. They're like, we're being good, aren't we, Daddy? You're like, yeah, but it's not coming from a good place. And then, in the end, I had to do that thing that parents do sometimes where you go overboard with the punishment. So, like, when they're not eating their dinner, you know, you're like, right then, you'll never eat again! You know, you say I can't back that up, you know. And I did it to my daughter. She was like, I want these shoes on. She was being spoiled. And I said, right then, you'll have no shoes. So I got shoes for the other kids, and I've got these, like, 4 pairs of shoes and none for her. And I'm like, and I'm very, very rare that I stand by a punishment, right? And like, even when I'm sending them upstairs, they're halfway down before they've got there, you know. So I'm in this queue, and my daughter's gone from being naughty to turning the waterworks on, and of course it's a new crowd around her. So these people just think she's like Cinderella, like not getting any shoes. No shoes for you. And she goes, and then she said the worst thing, and as parents you'll feel this, right? It's the worst thing that anyone can say to you, right? What your children can say to you. She said, Daddy, and I went, what? She said, there's all these people looking like front and back of the queue. She went, Daddy, why do you make the rest of the world laugh but you make me cry? He got me good. She got 3 pairs of shoes that day.
And obviously, being a nanny is very different from being a parent.
Yeah.
And I heard you talk about that when you were bringing up Billy, one of the things, she couldn't quite get her head around what you and Lenny did.
Yeah. It's true. She was asked at school when she was about 7 what her parents did, and she said that her dad was a chef and her mum was a vicar. Which was sort of true, but it made me realise that I hadn't really explained what the jobs were, you know. She just decided she'd visited the sets and that's what she decided.
Because, Rachel, your son Henry has a kind of a similar... There's you and then there's this other woman.
Yeah, he actually has never seen any of my films. He's completely, delightfully, totally uninterested in seeing any of them. Even though now he's 9 and he would be able to see, for instance, The Mummy, but he's just not interested. So he's never seen The Other Woman.
He's going to love The Lobster.
Go upstairs, gonna dig it. Yeah.
And now, Colin, you've got a son Henry as well.
I have a son Henry as well, yeah.
And now, was it Father's Day when... Who sent you the text? Because he can't have sent you the text.
He's not texting yet with his 6-year-old fingers. I'm sure some 6-year-olds are texting and rapidly. But he is tweeting. No, he's not tweeting. Basically, on Father's Day, they asked... the teachers asked the kids in his class, we're going to come around you all, and any of you who have fathers, that is, and ask you what you want to say to your dads, and then we'll transcribe it. And so they sent home a letter, which spontaneously I happen to have queued up on my phone. And because I was asked to read it, because it's just kind of gorgeous and ridiculous.
So he dictated this to the teacher?
Yeah.
And it says... And how old was he when he wrote this?
He was 4 when he said these words.
OK.
And he said, my dad, he's a lot of fun, and I like him a lot. He has blonde hair... and he's very handsome and wears a good shirt, good pants and good shoes. Oh. We play and I watch a movie with him and my mommy is in it and I am in it in the sky, he says that. That's because I met his mother on a film. But yeah, but the bit about the blonde hair had me a little obviously concerned and I was going to reach out for a home kit paternity test. But... Can you imagine the teacher's reaction when he said that as well? But maybe saw Alexander. No, because he still talks to me.
Okay.
That's his favourite.
Because Chris are now quite new to the father. What is it, 8 months, you say?
8.5 months.
But you, in that very modern way, you announced the birth via Twitter.
Yes. Well, while she was crowning. No. No, yes, yeah, in the subsequent days. Selfie.
But you did post a picture.
We did. And luckily, the baby looked exactly like equidistant between us physically. And we thought that people should see it.
I've got the picture here. There.
She is beautiful.
Now, but this is genius. People are going to steal this idea because you are preparing a treat for Art's future, aren't you?
Oh, God, I've got this great thing going.
This is brilliant.
So I'm playing a long-form joke on him where I live in a quite Latino part of California at the moment. And the park where I walk my dog, I've kind of befriended a bunch of families in the area, and there's a particular family that have a picnic there kind of most days. And I've started bringing the baby there and having him sit with them. And I've taken a picture. And I've taken a bunch of pictures. And the plan is I'm getting them developed. And in the future, I'm going to put them behind photo frame, like in photo frames behind other pictures around our house. With the hope that, like, at some stage, he'll be, when he's 16, 17, I need a picture frame for something if such a thing still exists. And I'm like, oh, just take one from upstairs. And it will come out, and he'll think he's adopted.
And here's the thing. He will never believe you when you... He'll believe you a bit when you say it's a joke, but not really because it's so bonkers to wait 16 years for a punchline.
No, it was a joke that we were doing.
The joke will be on you when he asks to be returned.
As you watch him spend the rest of his life trying to find his birth parents.
7 weeks ago, my girlfriend just gave birth to a little baby girl.
Oh, go on, a round of applause.
No, it's not mine, but... she is. We think she is. No, not we think. She is. She is your daughter. Anyway, so I'm watching this episode of Tipping Point, and it was a couple of weeks before the baby was due. And I'm watching this episode, and it was about this woman that was trying to win the jackpot so she could pay for a flight to see her sister in New Zealand. And honestly, I'm watching it, and she wins the jackpot, and I'm like Paul Gascoigne in Natalia 90, just waterworks, like undignified levels of crying. And then I had this awful thought. It was like, if I'm crying at an episode of Tipping Point, and then I don't cry at the birth of my daughter, I'm a monster. So then I was like, in my head, so I was like, I can't watch anything emotional. I need to be careful about what I watch on TV. Obviously, in the end, I had nothing to worry about because my baby girl arrived, and I was just like... It was like the most emotional episode of Repair Shop to the power of Mufasa dying in Lion King. I was like, I handed this baby, and the bomb was, like, instant. Even though when they first come out as well, sorry, no one warned me of that when the baby first comes out, they don't, like... How can I put this in a nice way? They look a bit odd. Like, no, she looks amazing now, and she's so beautiful, but, like, when they first come out the oven, they don't look Star Baker quality. And I was handing this little thing, and I was like, oh, my God, I think maybe it needs to go back in the oven at a lower heat for 20 minutes. And they're all in your face. The nurse is like, oh, do you think she looks like Daddy or Mummy? I'm like, right now, all I'm getting is Wayne Rooney. And... It was very emotional. So now I can watch Repair Shop again.
Watch it now. So Elsie, 7 weeks old. And was Elsie always the name you were going to go for?
No, to be fair, it was a little bit of a battle.
Oh, there's
that's
Roxy.
very sweet.
Was Elsie Roxy's choice of name?
Roxy's choice of name was... No, it was also my choice of name. I basically had a month before the baby arrived where there was a lot of me trying to spike inappropriate name suggestions of Roxy's.
Like what?
Well, there was one... This was, like, a couple of weeks before baby arrived, and she came into the bedroom, Roxy, and she was like, OK, I was thinking, if it's a girl, Phoenix. I was thinking... over my dead body. And she was like, why? Phoenix is a cute name, it's a sweet name. I was like, I think Phoenix sounds like a stripper name. And she went, how would you know that? I was like, don't know, I've never been to a strip club in my life. But we should probably do some due diligence if we're going to call our child this name.
Yeah.
So I was like, can we Google it, please? She was like, Google what? I was like, I don't know, type in top 10 stripper names. So then we had this weird moment. We're at home. She's got all the baby name books out, and I'm on Google typing in top 10 stripper names. There is a website with the top 10 stripper names, and to be fair to her, Phoenix was not on it. Do you know what number 1 was? Roxy. Oh, no. Okay, you don't want to see. You don't want to see. She'll want me to add that she's called Roxy because her dad named her after his favourite song, which is actually quite sweet. Oh. She also suggested that. She was like, we could go that route. I was like, we are not calling our kid Mambo number 5. Not happening.
So you may be Thor no more, we don't know. But you talk about your 3 kids. There is a Thor in waiting in your kitchen. Because this is one of your twins, I think.
Yeah, yep.
So your wife sent you this video. So what's he trying to do?
Well, we'd hidden the like little lollies for chocolate, which is bribery with kids, which is the only way to get through raising children. Up high, and we thought he'll never get to them. And
check this. How old is he, by the way?
He was about 3 at the time. He's in nutcase.
So this is a 3-year-old. You think you leave a 3-year-old alone in your kitchen?
Yeah. Look at his hair too.
Wow. Look at him go.
Yeah.
Look at him.
He's
wow. And like that's a slippery fridge.
Yeah.
Look at him. He likes chocolate. Oh, he can. Very good.
He's a kind of... He's twin boys, and the other one is highly intelligent, smart, manipulative in a good way, but runs like he has a pair of flippers on,
Okay.
Like, his athletic ability it wasn't gifted that way. That one's is all physicality, and he's an athlete.
Together, they could rule the world. Now, David Tennant, you will see Chris's 3 children and raise him.
Sure.
What, you're about to go to number 5?
We're about to go to number 5. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Thank you.
People applauding you. Well done. Great effort. Great effort.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's very good.
Very exciting. It's quite a spread that we have 17 at one end, so there'll be 17 years between them. Yeah.
Wow. But Ty, the 17-year-old, is giving you advice.
Yes, that's the slightly weird bit about having children with that big a gap, that at 17 he's going, what, you're having another one? Really? Listen, it's quite odd when you're in the position where your 17-year-old is giving you a lecture on birth control. Very much, I'm sure it's meant to be the other way around.
But also, your daughter, I think your daughter drew a picture of Daddy.
Yes. Yes, my daughter went to nursery school and they said, draw a picture of your parents, and she drew this picture and said, this is my daddy.
This is your daughter's interpretation of Daddy. Presumably social services came round quite soon after this.
It's quite complimentary.
She's really captured your eye.
Yes. She has a great eye for scale.
And the sun. You look very happy about it.
Here's the because being in The Hobbit, obviously a big franchise like that, did it make you a cool dad for your girls?
No, they, I mean, they're much cooler and funnier than me. I mean, the eldest one, from a very early age, she was very funny. She was startlingly quick at being able to speak. She was talking when she was just 2, and she had a sense of humour very early on. And there was one time when I was driving when she was about 2.5, and it was just the 2 of us in the car, and I was driving, and I broke wind, and but there was this 5-second pause, and from on my daughter's lives, from the back of the car came Another Minging Fart by James Nesbitt. 2.5. That's good. Where does that come from?
Because Tracy, you seem to like the idea of being an embarrassing mother.
You do. You just become a permanent figure of fun as you get older with your kids. I did something really embarrassing with my kid Johnny a few years ago when I was still having to buy him swimming trunks for his holiday. You know, you take the kid to buy swimming trunks, he's like, come on, let's go. So I took him to this kind of fancy boutique place around the corner, and they didn't have anything really, you know, it was like Speedos, and he's not a Speedo kind of kid, you know, he needs something with a bit of an elasticated waist, you know, quick dry gusset. I should have just gone to British Home Stores, but I thought I'd take him somewhere nice, and I saw this very gorgeous young black assistant, you know, amongst the rails doing stuff, and I said, excuse me, can you help me? My son's looking for something, elasticated waist, quick dry gusset, you know, he's a little chunk star, and Johnny's going, Mum. I'm going, Johnny, I'm going to ask the man. I mean, come on, let me just, Mum, it's Kanye West. Oh. Now that's embarrassing, right? I didn't know. He was very nice. He said, but he was holding something. He went, you know, I guess you think I'm cool, you know, I'm working in this store. That's okay. He thinks I'm cool. Oh, yeah, poor Johnny. And then I didn't give it up. I saw him getting in the lift, and I was like, excuse me, I'm terribly sorry about that. Then Johnny's like, enough now, enough.
Stop it, stop it. But the thing about writing your life is trying to kind of remember it all. There's a bit... You actually lost your own baby.
Yes, briefly. Yes, I did. Aid and I were living in Richmond at the time, and I had 3 children, I imagine.
Oh, so many to keep track of.
Three, hard to keep track of.
Yes.
And one morning, Aid got up and he went and got the girls up, the 2 bigger girls who, you know, toddling around, and he took them down for breakfast, and I was to go and get the baby. And I went upstairs to the baby's room, and the cot was empty. And I thought, that's unusual, isn't it? That. And you start thinking, yeah, baby should be in that cot. That's a bit strange. And so I thought, well, maybe Aid's picked it up and taken it downstairs for breakfast. So I go downstairs for breakfast. The heart's thumping a little bit. You think, this is odd. And I go downstairs, and Aid's feeding the other 2. No sign of the baby. And at which point I'm thinking, I should ask him, shouldn't I? I should actually ask him. Then I think, no, he'll look at me like people looked at Ingrid Bergman in Gaslight. They'll think, you're mad. You've never had another baby before. You've only got 2 children, you idiot. So I thought, no, I won't ask him. I'll go back upstairs. So I went back upstairs. And I went back up to the baby's room, nothing. And I'm seriously thinking, am I gone mad? Have I actually got a baby? And so I went back down to my bedroom, and I sat on the bed, and as I leant down, I felt this little lump. This is awful. Yes, Mumsnet, it's awful. Yes, I know you shouldn't do that. But I was breastfeeding her at night, and she'd kicked herself. I'd fallen asleep, obviously, from tiredness, and she had kicked herself down to the bottom of the bed and was sort of right under the duvet, right down the bottom of the bed. I mean, just fast asleep. Still alive, she's still alive. Suffered no damage.
Emily, Mortimer, in terms of your children encouraged you to get involved in animation, to do voice work, didn't they? Well, didn't you? No, was it your son?
Oh, my son loved Finding Nemo. My son's first word was Nemo, which is a quite bad reflection of me as a parent.
It says there's a lot of sitting in front of a telly.
I did actually love Finding Nemo. I think Finding Nemo is one of the best films ever made. But I did work out quite early on that he was sort of hypnotised watching it, and that it would be quite good to sort of just shove him in front of it for hours at a time. And so his first word was Nemo. And then about 6 months later, I put Nemo on for the 100,000th time, and he said, not Nemo again. Honestly, you must have had someone else say that.
You probably.
Me probably.
Yeah, on the phone, it's Nemo again.
Oh, my God.
Funny. Jeff, you've got 2 sons. I think we've got a picture of you here just after you gave birth.
Yeah. That's not me giving birth. No, that's Charlie. He's now almost 3. He's 2.5, and yeah, that's us.
Oh my God, that's so sweet.
We have now 2. We have River Joe, who's 1, and he's 2.5.
And is it Charlie who's like a sort of little mini-me?
Well, yeah, a little bit. A little bit. You know, you say things, and then they repeat them. He says a couple of things that I say. My dad, and this is probably a regionalism, used to say asses and elbows, meaning we'd be in the kitchen washing pots and pans, and if I participated, I'd be kind of, and he'd come on, let's really get in there, asses and elbows, asses and elbows. So now, Charlie, I'm often in charge of seeing him brush his teeth and teaching him. That takes a while. So he kind of, does a little bit of this, and I go, come on, asses and elbows, asses and elbows. And he says it's fun to hear him say asses and elbows. And then the other day, I heard him say, I guess I said it. He said, oh, yeah, I said, you like those pancakes? Yeah, never in my whole life have I had pancakes. I said, what'd you say? Never in my whole life. Yes, your young life, your long life. 2.5.
In over 3.5 years.
Yeah.
So cute. But now, Chris, your son, it seems, remarkably unimpressed by your career.
Yeah. Yeah, he really couldn't care less.
But isn't it the thing, like, he doesn't believe you're the real deal?
Yeah. He's now, he'll say he's 5 3/4, and he went to Universal the other day, Universal Studios in LA, theme park, had a good time, and came back, and he said, hey, Dad, guess what? Today, I saw the real Owen. Because, there's this guy at Universal who dresses up like my character from the movie, and the dinosaurs come out, and he's like, does this thing, and the kids, he's like,
that's so funny.
I saw the real one, Dad. So I was like, all right, yeah, you did the real one.
Well, he's putting the work in. He's there every day.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's true, actually. Yeah.
All year, he's there.
It actually is true. Yeah.
But also, you obviously, you have your parenting rules and all that. But apparently, the parenting rules change if you go fishing.
Yes, that's right. That's right. I have a farm up in Washington State, and on this farm is a lake, and it's we fish a lot for bass on this lake, my son and I. And I had this rule with my old man, and I have it with my son, which is when you're fishing, you can swear. You can just swear when you're fishing. It's just the guys. Go ahead and let loose. And so we're out fishing. He catches a fish, and I'm trying to get him to take a picture with the fish before we let it go. And it flops out of his hands, and these bass have these little spines on their back. And the fin pokes him in the hand, falls in the water. He starts to cry. And he's like, oh, and I said, hey, buddy, are you all right? You all right? He said, oh, Dad, I'm about to swear. I said, hey, you know the rules. And he goes, that bass is stupid. Well, I think we say, hey, don't say call someone stupid, that's bad. You shouldn't say that. And he continues to cry. I said, did you feel better? He said, a little bit stupid bass. And I was like, all right, buddy, yeah, now's the time, get it out. And he goes, that stupid bass is a I'm like, all right.
You used to do material about your daughter. How old was she when this happened? Was she 2 or something?
So the first kind of break I had on mainstream telly was Live at the Apollo, and I had this bit of material about my daughter being a baby and her doing a poo in the bath. and she kind of noticed it floating past her. And she handed it to me and asked me what it... He said, what's that, Daddy? And I had to sniff it to find out. And the joke was I told the story, but I kind of put myself into her head as if she knew what she was doing. Like just saying to her little toy penguin, watch this, Mr. Penguin, I'm going to ask him if it's ice cream or whatever. Yeah. I did this bit of material. It's the only bit of my stand-up my daughter saw, for years of mine when she was older. And she thought that's all I did for a living. She just thought I went out and I told rooms full of people that she shit in the bath. And then when she learned that, obviously I went out and that's how I earned money and I paid for, food and everything. And all because I went out and I told this story. And she was like, God, thank God I did that shit in the bath and we'd have nothing. She said to me, and she must have been about 10 at this point, and she said to me, I was going out to do a gig in London, and she said, can I come, Daddy? I said, no. She said, when can I come? I said, when you're 18, yeah? And she said, and you can be on stage and you can tell everybody that I did a poo in the bath, and then at the end, I can come on and go, hey, everybody, it was me! said you're not going to feel like that when you're 18, sweetheart.
Very good.